it. And this is different. We do also do our own local agent crisis fund as well. So this is us participating in the big global fund for Mo's birthday for the 870. And I know I breezed by that quickly. So like I said, if you want to talk about it, holler at me. I'll be happy to talk to you about it anytime. We have another exciting celebration for this week's slides this is a slide you guys haven't seen before because we have 5 of our agents who qualify for Gary Keller's top 200 agent mastermind. Y'all, this is in the whole country, okay? Like that's a lot of people from our world who've qualified for that group. And I know that everyone brings home different nuggets when they go, and some of these people, this is the first time they've qualified. So who you surround yourself with matters. And we have some amazing people here. And I'm just so proud of everybody. And I want you to have the awareness that like we know what's happening behind the scenes in leadership, but you guys don't even realize maybe how special and how meaningful it is. And honestly, I don't know if the agents that get the nomination even understand necessarily how special and meaningful it is. So when you get that, you get to go quarterly, sit in the room with Gary Keller and the other top agents nationally and have conversations. And it's awesome. So proud of you, Sal, Steve, Bridget, Kelly, and Lisa. Congratulations and keep up the good work. All right, training and events. Okay, this was breaking news this morning. I blew up a couple of my chats with ALC and Capper Academy and the coaches group and said, listen, breaking news. 75 Thrive is not the breaking news. That's been happening on Thursdays and the feedback is amazing. Tomorrow's guest on 75 Thrive is Gary Keller himself, live in the flesh, live on Zoom, right? Like he's not live in the office. He's live streaming out to all the offices that participate in this. He's not being recorded. So normally with 75 Thrive, you can go back and watch the recording. You can find it in the Google Drive that Evie puts together. This will not be recorded. So if you want to hear Gary, yeah, Bridget texted me and she's like, it's not on. I said, it's tomorrow, Thursday at 11 a.m. You will log in. This is one of those things. You can get your own link or you can go watch it in the training room at the Bankers Hill location, okay? If you get your own link, you can watch it wherever you want, but you have to watch it live. It is beyond my realm. I'm not in charge. Gary's in charge, and he's saying no recording of me. So please, if you want to be there at 11 o'clock tomorrow to hear from him, it's the Know Your Worth conversation. I'm really excited about the timing for this, and I'm going to clear my calendar at 11 o'clock to be sure that I can be there tomorrow for that. So Essence will stream it on the conference room across my front desk. What? Is that for the training room or the conference room, Evie, that new?
It's going to be in the smaller conference room, Sarah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
If you want to go to the Bankers Hill Metro headquarters and find it, go find it. But you guys see that link. And if you want to register for it to watch it wherever you're going to be, please do that versus miss it. Okay. So watch it from wherever you will. I'm really excited to hear about this one. And then Evie, you want to bring us through the next events?
Yes. It's oh my God, we're almost towards the end. So next week is our monthly office potluck. So again, I'm gonna miss I'm gonna miss the food, but I'm gonna just celebrate with you all virtually and eat at my desk. So please bring some appetizers and main dish to share with everybody. We will be at the Mission Valley location. This is our first time doing a team meeting. We're so excited. So come, it'll be a great energy for everybody. Potluck starts at 12:30 till 1:30, and then our very own broker Bob will be going over his risk management right up 1:30 to 2:30 for that day. So yeah, and also we're also doing the KW Cares raffle that is still going on. Please come see Essence. Email us if you want to buy some tickets. We will be handing out the tickets on the day of, so nobody loses anything if we have to give you now. So we'll hand out all the raffle tickets. Come see Essence if you want to buy some tickets. We will be drawing the prices at the very end of the team meeting. Must be present to claim your prize. We've got lots of prizes happening. And I think there's the little screen right here. So we have $5 raffle ticket prices and also the big prices under the $50 raffle ticket price. So I'll keep posting that. Let us know what you all want to. Bye.
Yo, there are some good prizes in there. And I want to backtrack to Robert's risk management meeting next week. It is NAR updates in the way that agents and brokers can be compensated in today's new environment. So you gotta get in the room and listen and be ready for the conversations. And you'll hear a little bit from Joseph today about how those conversations go. So raffle tickets available, 2 different price points, awesome prizes to win, and all your money is going to right to our KW Cares Fund. All that raffle money is going straight through to the fund. So yay. And then Friday.
And then Friday. And then for anyone that needs headshots, I know people have been pinging me here and there. So Aaron is coming back. He will be at the Mission Valley instead of the Metro office, just to make sure that he can access that. He is only doing AM spots. I already have 1 spot already claimed, so I have 3 spots left. So 9:30, 10:15, and 11:45. Ping me if you need to book an appointment with him. And then Sarah, the next one's yours to pitch.
And then we have listing clinic with Gene Rivers. Okay, if you haven't, even if you have, I don't care. There's not a chance under the sun that you retained everything he told you and that you're implementing it all in your business, or else you would have 10 million listings and your world would be on fire with joyful listings. And although we have amazingly successful agents, no one has 10 million listings. So that means you should come. This is something that the Market Center was able to purchase on behalf of our agents. So normally you have to pay to go to Gene yourself. Okay, just because you're not putting your own dollars from your pocket in, it doesn't mean you shouldn't take it seriously. This is going to be at the Mission Valley office. It is on June 18th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I know you're like, it's on Zoom. Will that be engaging and interesting? Yes. Gene Rivers is someone who rebuilt his business more than one time based on natural disaster in different locations in the state of Florida. And now he and his wife own essentially every market center from the top of Florida across from the Gulf to the ocean and multiple homes around the country. And he is still leading his teams and crushing the business. So I've heard some people saying like, well, does his marketing materials work for us here? It's not about his sign on his postcard, okay? It's about the techniques and the business and the strategy that you're learning from one of the masters and most successful teams in the entire country who's lasted decades, okay? So this is our gift to you. We are pushing you into learning listings like my kids have to brush their teeth, whether you want to or not, so that you know how you're getting paid. So Listings Clinic is coming straight to you, June 18th. Mark it down now, save the date, mark it off in your calendar that you're going to be there. And you guys, there's something so great about watching it in the room together so that on breaks and in between, because he'll give you a few breaks throughout, right? So don't freak out about, I can't check my email and check my text messages. Like you'll get breaks, you're a free human. You're going to have a chance to like strategize and brainstorm in the room together. It's so, listings are more fun than brushing your teeth. That's true. Okay, so you will hear me talk about Gene over and over and over again because I've never had an agent go that hasn't been like, oh my gosh, thank you for making me go. Because sometimes I drag you there. Okay, so I'm dragging you, I'm pushing you, get your butt in the room. Okay, that's Gene on June 18th. But wait, there's more. We're closed Monday. It's not Happy Memorial Day. It's just in honor of Memorial Day. So we are closed on Monday, which is the 27th of May, this coming Monday. So if you need access to any buildings, any printers, anything, please get with the team beforehand. Please go see Essence. Please send an email. Please do not text us at 8 p.m. on that night saying I can't get in the building. I will try to help you if I can, but it's just not as likely as if it would be if you got yourself set up now. Okay. And enjoy the weekend doing something great for yourself. You guys, there's so much goodness coming. Okay. New office space. Did someone just talk?
No, go ahead and Sarah.
Okay. The new office space is where we're going to be. It's the office formerly known as Signature. Now we're all one big giant happy Metro family. And so Mission Valley, it's Hotel Circle. It's super accessible. There's free parking. It is so beautiful, y'all. I won't oversell it because I know I can do that and it seems extra cheesy. Just go enjoy the goodness of the great space that it is over there. And If you are interested in having private office space, we're forming an interest list. So scan that little QR code with your phone right now and write your name down and say, I'm interested in private office space in that building. So we have the one suite set up. We're working on another suite, and we will make sure we can put private spaces available for anyone who's looking at them as time comes by based on interest, right? We're not going to go rent out the whole building if nobody wants private office. And if you haven't been over there yet, get your booty over there and sign up for your time to go check it out, because you're going to be excited. Did I miss anything else with that one?
No.
I don't think so. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Oh, the other thing is, yes, there was an email that's come out from Nancy, and there's an email that came out from Nancy, and there's a Facebook post on the Facebook page. Moving, if anyone's ever moved their home, which I feel like everyone on here must have at some point in time, probably, it's complicated, right? So we got the green light, as we talked about last week, to go make this happen quicker than we anticipated, and we're excited for it. So we're going to move to make it as painless as possible and just focus on the good. And there will be keys, and there will be printers, and there will be codes, and all that stuff is happening, and the team is working on it behind the scenes. So please search your email from Nancy. Everyone's gotten 2 at this point, and then there's a Facebook post about it as well that identifies key dates. When will Essence be over there? When will Ariana be over there? What will the logistics be? And then please just reach out. Whoever on leadership is your go-to text person or whatever you need to do, ask the questions, your coach, and we'll help you make it as smooth as possible. Okay? That's my ask for you all. Oh my gosh, I'm not even that late, Evie. Look at me go. All right, Movement Mortgage. Who wants to talk today?
That'll be me.
Hey,
y'all.
Eddie.
How's everybody doing? A lot of beautiful faces on here. Good to see you guys. So where do we start? I wanted to let you guys know, since we're closed on Monday for Memorial Day, we are going to do our next Movement Monday on the 3rd, is the next Monday, I believe. And I'm going to have a special guest from one of our broker partners going to come on and talk about non-qualified mortgages, you guys. I want you guys to understand that there are ways of financing properties that are outside the normal boxes that we're also used to, right? I'd say 95% of most mortgages are done with conventional loans, FHA loans, VA loans, maybe some USDA here and there, right? But a lot of mortgages don't fit into that box. 1-year tax returns. You've got DSCR loans, foreign nationals, and what else? Interest-only loans, right? There's 24 different types of loans that we have 30 different investors to choose from. So if for whatever reason we don't fit into a conventional conforming box, jumbo box, we have 30 different lenders that we work with directly that can help out. I want you guys to learn and expand your minds and understand about some of these products. It's going to be surface level explanation so that you can learn about them. But at least this way, if someone says something to you like, hey, my credit's not exactly up to snuff, we have someone that does low FICO scores. I'm trying to sell a place. It's not selling. I want to buy another place. We can do cross collateralization. So there are all these different nuances to financing, and it's beyond Mortgage 101. This is 201. So June 3rd, you guys, Monday morning, 9 a.m. I hope you guys can join us for it. It's going to be a great 1-hour presentation. And we're going to go through June with some more classes. I promise I'll announce them in advance, Evie. And we after that, we're going to take a little break for the summer because believe it or not, it's summertime. So and then June 22nd, y'all, barbecue at my house. We're going to have a lot of fun. Hopefully I get to see all you beautiful faces come by. We got a pool. We're going to have a taco guy. We're going to just have a good old time. And yes, that's about all I got. Otherwise, rates are like in the high 6s, low 7s, depending on how good a credit you have and what kind of property you're buying. And if you need anything, you can always call me days, nights, weekends. I'm always around. So thank you.
Thank you, Eddie. That's 1 month from today, June 22nd. Super fun. All right. Jacqueline, Escrow Partners Spotlight.
Yes, I am very excited for Escrow Partner Spotlight this week because it is somebody that we work with on a very regular basis. So, Coach Alicia, you are our spotlight of the week. And for you guys that don't know, we work with Alicia all of the time because if you were in her launch or her growth program, and maybe you haven't been through escrow before, we partner with Alicia that way. We also partner with Alicia because she does her own real estate business, which is how she knows so much to teach all of you. They're in her coaching program. So we wanted to spotlight Alicia. And for everyone in the office that doesn't know, we are there. If it is your very first escrow, reach out to me, reach out to Nicole, let us know. We are always there to help you. And the other thing I will say is just update on escrow partners. We are still physically at the Bankers Hill location for right now. We will also be moving over to be near you guys when we are in the Mission Valley location. So more info coming, but for right now, we are still physically present there in Bankers Hill on that first floor. So let us know how we can help you with your escrows.
Alicia gets a spotlight. That's such a nice role reversal. And now it's your turn, Alicia. Who do you want the spotlight?
Yay, that was cute. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so coaching with me and growth, Sam and Yanni, of course, opened another escrow with a buyer that they met at an open house. And then we have another one. Yang also opened escrow with a buyer that she also met at an open house. So kind of a theme we got going on here. And she is in launch with me. And then on Coach Deborah's team, Gaga opened escrow on her own listing, her very first listing. And it seems as though that seller is also a buyer, and they open escrow on that one that he's going to be moving into, I guess. And then on Mike Solis, Grant and Abby have taken 2 listings in the last 90 days and are building a huge buyer pipeline from all the open houses they are doing. So theme of the week, open houses, do them, get contact information, get out there, do the actions. Doodles.
Awesome. I will tell you, yes, open houses. That was the common theme for every single person on there. And Sam and Yanni are in the Capper Academy with me. And when we meet on Tuesdays, and he was like, "Oh, we're opening escrow for someone we met on Sunday." And I was like they brought them out immediately. So I want to just share that tidbit, not to be like, they're amazing and you're not. It's supposed to motivate and inspire and show you it really happens that way. Okay. So when you meet the people and you follow up with them and then you are helping them get what they're looking to get, then you can open escrow. So don't think, oh, it has to be a forever game. Sometimes it's a right now game when the people are ready right now and you ask the right questions. BB, let's hear from broker updates.
Thank you, Sarah. Happy Wednesday, KW. Three things today. First one is I want to pitch Mondays with Mark. We're doing whatever we can to provide value to you guys. And Mark is setting aside time for a half hour on Monday. And the concept behind it is to do overview of risk management type stuff. So if you have non-contract specific information you're looking for about how to craft a deal or something like that, bring it. And he will be more than happy to help. But if it's something specific to your personal transaction, save that for some offline stuff or please call me. We're more than willing to help you on that. Also, he did post on Facebook today, with the office move, you will be responsible for making sure you update your zip forms back end for the office address using the 1660 Hotel Circle. He put instructions in there on how to do that. Go do that if you're unaware of how to do it. And the third thing is I'm going to make a pitch for next week's risk management meeting. I see some people on this call that I have not seen at a risk management meeting in a while. It's kind of important you show up next week. There's a lot of changes going on, and I'm already being flooded with emails. Well, how do I do this with the BRBC? We're going to address a lot of those questions next week because I can't take the time to answer a lot of people individually. I need to do it in a group. So please make sure that you come to next Wednesday's risk management. We're going to be addressing a lot of the NAR updates and the changes that will happen, not only with the buyer broker, but how the MLS and cooperation is going and how you're going to navigate through all that. So it'll be kind of an open forum because I'm getting a lot of questions from everybody. Please show up. And I do like chocolate. So if you have chocolate dessert you're going to bring next week, that'll be fine. Cheesecake, that works. Okay, that's it.
Chocolate and cheesecake for BB. That was my takeaway there. Yes, please, broker meeting in like it's so important, and you're going to save yourself the questions that you need to ask later, and you're going to help yourself have the key takeaways of how you're speaking to your clients right now, this week, immediately, and this is the end of May. You're still months ahead of what's actually changing. And that's our goal, is to make sure everyone's super ahead. Okay. Does anyone have a property that they feel like they must pitch right now in the meeting, or shall we get to our main feature? Raise your hand for a property to pitch. And if you want to pitch it, please go ahead. That's, we're here to sell real estate together and live our best lives by design, but Okay, and then please put your property pitches in the chat, buyer needs in the chat. Oh, John Fields, I see your hand. Go ahead, John.
All right, I have a unit in the Mark coming up tomorrow. It's one of two of these floor plans. It's unit 510, 1 bed, 1 bath. It's a really large 1 bed, 1 bath, about 1164 square feet, floor to ceiling windows, 2 side-by-side parking spots right next to the elevator. The Mark is a super nice building. There's a whole new courtyard being built that's set to be done towards the end of this year. We're going to be on at 750,000, and there's plenty of comps to support it, so I think we'll be priced right. There's electronic shades throughout, like the floor to ceiling windows with good southwest views. There's a balcony facing west. Just a really nice unit. So if you have anybody looking in downtown, just give me a call, 619-218-9701.
Awesome. Congratulations. And thank you for sharing. Anybody else?
I got
Digital. One. Okay, go, Mike Law.
This is coming on the market today, but it's in Chula Vista, 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath. Each bedroom has their own private bath, townhome, corner unit, unobstructed park views, in probably the number 1 rated elementary school in Otay Ranch in Wolf Canyon, also next to Olympian High School. It's going to be listed at $699. $350 is the HOA, and it's turnkey, ready to go. Bring your buyer.
Excellent, Mike Law. You want to drop your cell phone in the chat if anybody has any questions. Bridget, you want to say yours out loud?
Sure. I have a detached property coming up in Singing Hills area, which is East El Cajon. Once you get off the 94, like 8 or 9 minutes past that. It's a great gated community, and it's going to be $739, which is a great price for a detached property. So let me know if you have interested buyers. It'll be back on the market. It'll be on the market probably around mid-June or maybe a little bit before that.
3 great properties, 3 great prices. Nikki, I see your hand.
Real quick, we've got a brand new coming soon office space, 875 square feet, 2-level, ceiling to floor, natural light windows, amazing. All new build to suit or TI available for the tenants for only $350,000. And the cool thing about this is that it is adjacent and butts up to a 10-unit residential complex. So it's perfect for someone that might want to buy an investment property who is also a property manager and have their office next door, because there's a special deal for a conjoined deal. I'll put this in the notes. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. Are there any more digital hands or out loud people talking? All right. Without further ado, let's get to our main feature today. I am really excited to bring Joseph Acosta, and I used to always say Acosta, and then I heard his voice all one day, and I was like, it's Acosta. Okay, I'll fix it. So I asked Joe to speak. Many of you might not hear a lot about him. He's kind of that quiet superstar, right? And he's probably hates that I'm saying that out loud, and it's okay. We're going to work through it together. So like so many of our top producers, people see top producers and think oh, when I get to that level, I'll have it all figured out, right? Just like with life. And the reality is, what I found in common with every person I've ever interviewed here or anywhere else, any ones that are in our market center, I'll say, imposter syndrome is real, right? People think I don't know, why are we doing this for? So I want to just set the stage that everyone that we talk to here is just like you, and everyone starts at the beginning, right? So Joe, thank you for being here with me today. And I wanted to start with you and say, let's start at the beginning, please, to get the background. What brought you into real estate?
Thanks for the kind introduction. I appreciate it. Um, what, how did I start in real estate? So my mom's been an escrow officer for my whole life. She's actually still in escrow, commercial escrow with Chicago. If you guys ever need any help, she's there. So that's kind of how I got my foot in the door, learned some of the basics. 2017, 2016, I started working with my dad's fiance at the time. She got her broker's license and started taking me door knocking with her. And I got to learn a lot of the grit within it. And funny enough, she was marketing 1% listings all day. And now that I look back on it, I'm like, that's awful that she was doing that to our industry. And granted, she and my dad never got married, or is she still in the business? So don't go that route. Tell my new agents looking for new business. Value yourself and you'll be much better. So that was like 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I got my license probably a year afterwards, hung it with a boutique brokerage in Carlsbad, and had a lot of one-on-one time with the broker there. And he taught me a lot, and we did a few deals together. Took a lot of my own money, which was fine. He taught me a lot, and I was brand new to the business. However, if I were to do that again, I'd probably just come straight to Keller Williams. The education here is far advanced than anywhere I've been. And then I went to La Jolla, and then I came to Metro.
And
So
how
that's
long ago
kinda,
did you come to Metro?
I think it's been 4 or 5 years now.
Awesome.
But best move I've had.
You guys make me so happy when you say things I don't know you're going to say, and I'm like, stop. That's great. It's important. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, so let's look at the last year of your business. Tell me, what was the greatest achievement you had in the last year?
Hmm. I would probably say I had a tough time coming into 2023. So at that time, I wanted to get some new listings. So what I did was I started looking at all the um, expired listings that never sold in my neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And I had just recently bought a house in like the downtown La Mesa area, and I kind of wanted to start focusing on this area. So I pulled all the previous expireds that never sold in like the past year. And I ended up having a conversation with a lady probably 2 blocks away from me. And we hit it off, we met, and I ended up double ending that deal probably 6 months, 8 months later after we had met. And that's probably my best or biggest achievement in the past year. I don't normally focus on expireds, but I think if you're looking for new business, why not go to the people who raise their hand? And if I'm ever struggling, I know I can kind of resort to that and take that story to get some success.
What I love about that story is the other part of how you answered me in our pre-conversation was that you made the most GCI in the last 12 months that you ever made. And that came out of struggling 2 years before, right?
100%.
And I think that part of the story is so important for people to hear.
I agree. I was reading something earlier this morning. I think Ashley might have posted it about how your biggest growth and your biggest achievements usually come right after your biggest struggle. And I think it's such a huge testament, or I think it aligns perfectly with what we're talking about. I struggled pretty heavily when interest rates doubled, and I had to figure out how I was going to get new business. I had a lot of buyers, and they just everything kind of just stopped. So now I look at my business, and it's very listing heavy, it's very investor heavy, and I think a lot of that came from that struggle.
Yeah, and I think what's magical in your sharing your perspective is that people just see where you are today, right? They don't see the inner thinking that you've been going through over the past few years. And that's with anything, right? We judge our insides based on someone else's outsides or compared to someone else's outsides. And I think to come through like the reality, the realness and the vulnerability of sharing with people, like the interest rates doubled and I had a bunch of buyers and I was like, oh my gosh. And instead of throwing in the towel or shrinking up and, anyway, you went to what you knew would work and you went to expires and you ended up having the best GCI year ever. And so life shows up and what you do with it is what matters, right?
100%. And I definitely shrunk for a few months, but don't shrink too often. Just get back to it.
Reach out and ask for help, right? Okay, so if you had to get a listing today, what would you do?
So that's what I would do. I'd focus on expireds, not newly expireds. I'd probably, filter them out to see which ones haven't sold in the past like year and a half, 2 years, and focus on those people because they once raised their hand to sell. And I primarily don't like focusing on expireds that are fresh because a lot of people, like I see Joe Fair in the corner, is probably calling them up right when they get expired. So you're definitely going to be going up against some pretty heavy hitters in the industry.
So you go to the older expireds to make your move if you felt the need to get a listing today.
That's what I would do. Yeah.
Awesome. So Robert just talked about the changes in the industry. You talked about the changes in the interest rates too over the past couple of years. Based on all the things that are happening, whether it's interest rates or NAR changes or commission things, like what are you changing in your business based on what's happening in the industry?
Personally, I don't think I'm changing that much. I think the only thing is the conversations I'm having with my clients. Kind of just laying out all their options and seeing, what option is going to be best for them. And really, the whole commissions conversation, I feel like I've always kind of been having that conversation. And I think now we just need to clarify it a little bit more. I think because I'm so investor heavy and listing heavy, potentially not offering a commission or a lower commission than what we're used to is going to hurt our clients. And I'm going to let them know that's a potential reality for them. We just did a deal probably 2 months ago, and it was an off-market home, and the sellers were going to lose it unless they didn't sell their home to an auction lien. And we ended up having our investor developer buy this home while still paying the buyer agent commissions. And we've already been getting ready for this whole settlement before it's even come official. So not much has really changed for me.
So when you say you talk about it at the table, I would agree. I've had the conversation on listing appointments before. I want everyone to hear a little more about that from you. So is that on listing appointments or on buyers appointments that you have that conversation?
Both, 100% both. I've already been having the conversations of with buyers, especially if I want to be paid what I'm worth. And I think everyone should have that mentality. And if you're not having the conversations with your buyers about a listing that they're interested in where they could be offering 2%, 1.5%, 1%, you have to let them know up front, hey, this is what I want to be paid regardless of what they're offering. And it's probably because I've been in that situation already before. And it's not a great feeling showing a buyer 30 homes and then only get paid 1%, 1.5% when we're been used to 2.5%, 3%. And in most cases with your buyers, you can save them thousands of dollars based off your experience and your values and the different lenders you can kind of offer them to save money, buy downs, negotiations. I mean, you learn all that with years of experience, and I think it totally shows.
I think that's really important for people to hear, that it's not like, oh no, what do I start saying now, but refreshing what you've been saying. And the other thing that stands out in your answers is, the universe always gives us what we need. And you talked about you didn't have to change much because you're so listings based, but before the interest rates shifted, you were really heavy with buyers. And so because of what was that like lemons into lemonade moment, you've really shifted your business a couple of years ago to get ahead of it by chance. Right?
Yeah, 100%. And I kind of want to go a different direction because you brought up the universe kind of feeds you what you need. One of my biggest lessons that I've learned is my first listing that I've ever had. I was holding the open house by myself, and I met the buyer, one of the first buyers that walked through the door, and they wanted me to represent them in their offer to go into dual agency. And I said, heck yeah, like why wouldn't we? We ended up doing it. It went really smoothly until the buyers were moving in and the sellers had left a bunch of their things in the backyard, which we handled. I ordered a moving truck. We moved everything into the new truck. They left. The new buyers moved in. Until months down the road, they were cleaning behind their backyard in an easement that they had with SDG&E, and there was a skeet trap under the brush, and it was cocked and loaded. And while they were cleaning it, it ended up slicing the buyers, my clients, like ear to their cheekbone, like down to their neck. And like they had to go to the hospital. The pictures were awful. And they ended up filing a lawsuit against the sellers and me as the listing agent for negligence. And it was an awful experience. And I ended up having to come out of money to pay that. And so did the sellers as well. But come to find out, the sellers never disclosed the skeet trap that they had forgotten about in their backyard of an easement. And that was such a learning experience. Like I triple and quadruple the Avid every time with pictures and try to just be as clear as possible about everything going on in the home. And it was so awful. Like I had thought about completely removing myself from the real estate industry because I was traumatized.
Yeah. Well, someone got injured and you felt like it was like, what could you have done to prevent it? Right.
Yep.
Do you walk properties now? Like completely specifically, like, are you so thorough way more than you were back then?
I try to be.
I'm sure I don't see Broker Bob smiling up there, but I'm sure, he always gives us the warning on dual agency. We always hear the warning on Avid. And I love that you shared that experiential story because you learn by doing. And that was such a horrible experience for you. Almost thought about leaving the industry completely. And instead, you just learned how to do things differently and change the way you work.
100%. And what better time could it have come on like your first listing? Dual agency is just like couldn't write it up any better.
It's totally a movie moment. That's insane. Well, Yeah. And so I want everyone to heed your warning, right? Like, don't phone it in, take it seriously. When you get the warnings, there are 4 reasons, because Broker Bob has had the pleasure, and I'm going to call it the pleasure, of hearing all these stories over all these years. And now you're getting to learn from everyone else's experience. So just like when parents are annoying, there's a reason for it. Okay, let's get into your typical workday. Tell us what a typical workday looks like for you.
So ideally, I want to be up at like 4:30, 4:20. First thing I'm doing is asking myself like how I feel, awareness. I'm journaling. I have my journal right here from my life coach that I like. I buy in 100% into it. I write out like my intentions for the days, my values, um, just anything that could make my day the perfect day. I try to write it out, and then pretty much want to be in the gym 5:30, have breakfast right after, and then I'm getting into emails, phone calls. I usually try to do any appointments in the early afternoon, and I'm done around 4:30. I love family time, me time. Um, that's pretty much it. I'm making my calls early. The most difficult calls, the earlier the better.
Eat the frog.
100%.
What when you say make the calls, what is lead gen like? Who are you calling?
Sphere, mostly Sphere. I don't normally call expireds or FISBOs or Circle Dial. I used to a lot. I love to have a list, an ongoing list of homes that I see when I'm walking neighborhoods or when I'm driving neighborhoods, to focus on highly deferred maintenance properties, distressed properties. So I'll write those addresses down. I'll find their contact info through like Been Verified or PropStream, and I'll try to reach out to them directly. If they don't live in it, if it's not their primary residence, I find their primary address, write them a letter. I'll call their sister, their aunt, their uncle, their grandfather to try to see if they're interested in selling. I'm that obsessive about distressed properties.
Were you always that way, or is that because you know you have investors you compare them with?
I haven't always been that way. I think I saw Peggy on this call earlier. Me and Peggy used to make a lot of calls together, door knock together, go back and forth with scripts together and role play. And she always had some pretty great deals with investors and would tell me about these stories. And I fell in love with helping people who are in such a dire need with their backs against the wall, and found a great opportunity to try to help them while also benefiting me and like tripling my regular commission. So that's kind of just been something that I've been learning and been obsessed with, and working with investors has kind of opened a new door in my business to have um, the option to learn so much about construction. And I feel like I love to be hands-on and so creative that actually fills that void within me, which is amazing.
It's cool what you can discover along your journey. All right, so where do you see opportunity?
I think a better question is for agents, like how do you not see opportunity? I think there's opportunity literally everywhere. The first person that comes to mind is one of the OG Keller Williams, David Norberg. I would listen to him, and he'd say he'd try to pick up on people at the gas station, and I think he even got a few listings from filling up his tank and talking to the person next to him. So I love to live by the quote, opportunity has no off season. I see it everywhere.
I love that you say the better question is like, where isn't there? Or how did you phrase it? Do you remember how you just phrased it?
I
I don't know either. It's recorded, so we can go back to it. But I want everyone to hear that because, you know, how you look at things, what you focus on expands, right? And Dave Norberg, for anyone who doesn't know, has, I mean, we can't get into that now. It'll take the rest of the day, but a huge business, and the simplicity of like when you're next to someone at the gas station, do you strike up a conversation? If you think about like, don't be a secret agent, it's really what it comes down to. Just always be having conversations with people. Opportunity appears, right? When you're open to it.
Agreed. One of the so me and my girlfriend, we got a dog, and he's like this prized mutt. And we paid a lot of money for him, and it was like one of my goals was like, I'm going to turn him into like a lead gen tool and try to get the money back that I paid for him. And I think it was like a year and a half later when we first got him at 8 weeks, we closed the deal, and I think it was like a $17,000 check. So he was far worth the investment. And I think that's perfect for opportunity has no off season.
I couldn't make that any better if I tried. It is amazing. Well done. What's next for you?
I think more leverage. I'm obsessed with freedom and trying to delegate, which I say I'm obsessed with, but I'm not great at it. So I'm trying to focus on that. If that means working with more investors or more developers to kind of earn more of my dollar per hour, I think that's more of my general goal, but more specific goal, just doubling, tripling my business with investments, flips, and developments.
What do you know? I didn't talk to you about numbers. Do you know where do you think you'll end this year with units closed?
I'll probably be 20, 25 units closed. And last year I think I was 18, 20.
I think the context is sometimes helpful for people because they can make up a whole story in their mind about like he must do 100,000 units a year, and you're like can live a really great life on 20-ish.
Yeah, I think 20 is a great number, and if you can kind of focus on your dollar per hour and the volume, the purchase price increasing, it's a very great life.
I think the other part that you said there too is the value, like knowing your value and not shying away from that conversation and in the commission conversation, right? And we won't tell you what to say, but we'll give you ideas and make sure you understand that is a tool that's used to get that dollar per hour up. Okay, so you're giving a lot of advice, and a lot of it comes through your natural storytelling, and I love that. If you could give one piece of advice for an agent at any level that wants to level up their business, what would it be?
I would say be your true, authentic self. Find out what your passions are and find people you look up to. Find role models, people that inspire you, and try to be a sponge around them. Soak up as much game as you can. I think there's a lot of people out there that want to give advice and tell you what you should do for this and for that. However, if you don't look up to them or like want to live the life that they're living, I don't think you should follow them at all. That's just my 2 cents.
I think those 2 cents really are important. And I think that last part of like, look at the person you're following their advice of and what's the life they're living. And is that something that's appealing to you? And be mindful of who you're listening to. And you've spent a lot of years listening to a lot of people. And from the beginning, right? You were door knocking before you were licensed, and then you were under a broker. And You're always open to feedback. You also serve on our ALC, and I think that's something that you and I have talked about every year since I got here. So tell me, you've been on it for several years. Why do you keep coming back, or why do you love the ALC position, or like it at least? I don't know if you love it.
I love it. It's hard for me to show up, but once I'm there, I'm happy I did. It's great to be surrounded by people who are all in. They want to grow. They want to see our market center grow. They're open to change. They're wanting to give back to our community and our office, and to the newer agents who want to buy in as well. I think we can all agree that we're all we always have like this open door policy, and we're an open book where we're letting you into our business so you can grow as well as potentially, us growing by letting you in. So I think that's why I love coming back. Also the people on our leadership, most of the people there have been there for a really long time, and it's great. I'll be back next year if I get invited.
Yeah. I really love your authenticity that's why I giggle a little bit, because it's been 4 years of fun with the ALC conversation with Joe, but find your, like how you said, what's authentic to you. I think that's really important in the story you're telling today, because if anybody was listening, how you had buyers and then you went to listings because of one thing, but it's led to something else entirely. And then now you're talking about dollar per hour and getting even more so into investors. And then the construction piece helps you fulfill that creativity piece. As you keep walking your path and staying true to yourself and your business, your story will evolve, right? And you will emerge through it. I think that journaling is really important as well, for the daily conversation with yourself. What
It's
didn't I
changed my
ask
life.
you?
It's changed
Journaling's
my
changed your
life.
life.
100%.
How long ago did you start?
COVID. I started coaching with my life and business coach, and it's been really tough, grueling, asking yourself hard questions and battling the truth. It's been a struggle, but it's definitely for the better. And if you're on the verge of hiring a coach, I think everyone needs a coach. I think we've all heard that a billion times, and it's 100% true.
I want you to double back down on that, though, because we didn't talk about that specifically. And you said journaling has changed my life. What do you want everyone to hear so that they can change their lives? Like, how can they start if they're like, I don't know, I've heard that. I don't write things down. Like, what would be something how did you start?
God, another rock bottom moment in my life. I mean, on the verge of suicide and just being in an awful place. You can't, force change upon people. You have to really want it. And I mean, if you're on the verge and don't do it, there's nothing that I can say, I don't think, that's going to make you want to, unless you don't want that change within yourself. I don't know, maybe I'm hearing the question wrong.
No, I think you're right in the depth of it. But for example, like you said, you ask yourself every day, like, what's a cue that someone could write down every day that you use? What am I thankful for? You said it. Let me look.
So, I mean, when I open my journal, we have a couple things here, and one of the first things is the awareness, and just basically asking myself like how I feel. Pretty self-explanatory. And then adjustments. So I guess that's more of like comparing from what you did yesterday to today, where you can improve. And then intentions, what you want to focus on for the day. Affirmations, I feel like we haven't even talked about affirmations, and that's probably one of the biggest things for me. I've had a lot of self doubt and not a lot of great confidence throughout the years, so that's really helped me improve there. And I mean, you can't be in this business without confidence. No one's going to want to work with you if you don't believe in yourself. So I think focusing on those 4 things, you handle those, and then you can kind of move towards gratitude and what you're grateful for. I mean, anyone that starts their day off with gratitude, you're gonna have a great day, I believe.
I believe that as well. What didn't I ask you that I should have asked you?
Probably about my great friend group, the guys that I'm in a group with within our office. Those guys keep me sane. Shout out to the ATM boys. They find a good group niche of friends within your office that you can grow to and kind of lean on and vent with. I think that's the best thing you can do.
That's awesome. Joe. Wait, Evie, are you talking out loud? I just saw your face pop up. You're laughing.
No, I was just gonna say, who's gonna win Survivor? No, I'm kidding.
I am so thankful for you being here today with us. I think saying yes to opportunities when you aren't sure what the outcome will be. I know that people must have learned from stuff today here. And if you didn't, go back and listen to the recording because there's a lot to unpack. Thank you for your vulnerability and your realness. And thanks for being an amazing leader in our office.
Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate it.
You guys have an amazing week. Enjoy your weekend here and see you in person on Wednesday next week. And for broker meeting, Hotel Circle. Bye, y'all.